Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back into another episode, diving into obviously our favorite team, the Arizona Cardinals. And joined by my good brother here, Mythic. What's up, brother? How you doing, man?
Doing good, man. How are you?
Good. Okay, let's get started here. We haven't gone live, and I felt like it's been 2 weeks now, but we got a lot to dive into. We just had free agency. We're gonna do a real quick recap of that. We're going to also do a kind of how do you feel about the new announcement by the Arizona Cardinals today pertaining to the new seedings. And on top of that, we're going to be doing a mock draft Monday. So super excited about it. Let's do a real quick recap. What are your thoughts here on the Arizona Cardinals overall free agency pool?
Overall, a lot of people are going to look at it. You're not going to see the big name, right? You're not going to see a Christian Wilkins. You're not going to see some star-studded player. You're not going to see anything like extravagant. But we struggled so hard to stop the run. Monty signed 3 defensive tackles. 3 of them paid good money to get them all in. They might not be the upper echelon defensive tackle, but we brought in a ton of players who are better than the ones on the roster last year. So everything is an upgrade, progressively getting better as it goes. Had to address a lot. We even got a corner, Sean Murphy-Bunting, who I think personally is going to be fantastic. Middle linebacker that I think both of us think are going to be fantastic for this team to pair with Kaiser White. And I'm just excited. I think they're genuinely good football moves. I think they're very underrated, very low-key, but I think it's going to help a ton, and we're going to see it. We're going to see big-time impact by all of these people.
Yeah, I agree. I've been kind of seeing like the big national media kind of bag on the Arizona Cardinals and say that we had like a C or C minus, like that they're going to give us a grade. It's kind of insulting a little bit because I feel like we did upgrade our roster. And if you guys didn't look at it before, our roster was really, really bad and depleted. So like anybody that we brought in is an upgrade from what we've had before. So in the grand scheme of things here, the Arizona Cardinals, yes, like you said this earlier, we didn't get for the Christian Wilkins, but like we've had so many holes on this roster that you kind of had to do for agency this way. And what happens next year is going to happen next year. But as of right now, we needed to bring in guys that Jonathan Gannon and the rest of this defense are truly going to want to not really develop, but like they know are good football players, right? Because that's what they're looking for. They're looking for good football players that are going to be able to make a big impact on this defense. And just like the Kaiser White situation last year when we got him, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I was like, okay, whatever. I mean, it is what it is. But like this guy shined, right? Unfortunately, he wasn't healthy throughout the entirety of the season, but like he's a good football player. He brought the physicality to this defense, and I think that was a really good move by Monty. But now we just have more people. Now we have more people to kind of really watch and see what they're going to be doing on this defense. Let me ask you this real quick. Do you feel like, so we got Justin Jones and Bilal Nichols. Who do you think is going to be the starter? Or do you think it's going to be 1 and 2? Like, do you think they're going to be on the same field together? Or do you think it's going to be
I think they'll be on the field
together?
I think Justin Jones is DT1.
Okay.
I mean, they threw a bag at him, which
True.
I think is a slight overpay. I think that's the one player we kind of like overpaid for. I like Bilal Nichols. But Justin Jones, like, it didn't do it for me. But at the same time, it's a run stuff.
Yeah.
Defensive tackle, which we desperately need. So I can't really complain. And the thing about all these guys is they're typically pretty durable, which not a lot of people are durable on this Cardinals team. So Monty kind of made it an impact. Like, okay, let's go get semi-young people who should be hitting their peaks this year, who are like 26, 27 years old, who are durable football players, who can come in and make an impact that are better than what we have now. That it felt like what he was going for, and I feel like he did fantastic. If that was his goal, I think it was great. And our team was competitive in a lot of games last year, and the fact that we upgraded, it's a W in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that as well. So you think it's going to be Jones, right? That's going to be DT1?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, per the contract, it does make sense. But you're right. I think when we're looking at all these guys, you're looking at the, I guess, the consistency of being on the field and just being available. Now, obviously, it needs to translate as well. It needs to be, in 2024 as well. But I mean, for the most part, they've had some very, very durable seasons within the NFL, and that's definitely something that you need because, man, I feel like every other week we had some sort of issue, especially in the defensive tackle position, whether it's like Carlos Watkins, Ledbetter, LJ Collier. There was always somebody getting hurt. So like this is a good move. And for the people out there saying that it's not, I don't really know what else to say other than just we'll watch and wait because I think we did upgrade our roster. It wasn't splashy, it wasn't flashy, but it was definitely necessary.
For
Let's talk
sure.
about some other moves that were made here in free agency. One of the big ones, and I believe we were live because you were going to do a giveaway on your channel. It was that Rondale Moore ended up getting traded over to the Atlanta Falcons for Desmond Ridder. What are your overall thoughts here on Rondale Moore leaving?
It's tricky because Rondale Moore is someone who I've been kind of like pushing out the door myself personally. Obviously, I'm not the one who's conducting the roster or constructing it, but last season I was thinking that Rondale Moore should be someone who was traded, and it didn't happen. But later on, I mean, fast forward 6, 4, 5, whatever months it was, Rondale Moore is out of the door for a backup quarterback. It just kind of goes to show that there's no like opportunity for him on this team anymore, and Rondale Moore versus Greg Dortch debate is all over.
Yeah.
Greg Dortch is going to be the slot receiver, and the fact you signed DJ Dallas kind of told me everything we needed to see. Right, DJ Dallas will most likely be our return man, and Greg Dortch will be elevated into that slot receiver. And then Rondale Moore, just what is he going to be? A wide receiver 4 or 5? Like, who's to say we don't go ahead and get 2 wide receivers in the draft? Like, we all want Marvin Harrison, but who's to say we don't double back in the second, third, fourth round and pick up
100%.
somebody else to develop? And Rondale Moore, like Monty Ossenfort, I don't feel like is going for short receivers in the first place. Greg Dortch, not super tall, but I mean, when he had opportunity, he made way more of it than Rondale Moore ever did.
Yeah,
I feel like Rondale Moore honestly had more opportunity than Greg Dortch has in both regimes. And I think Greg Dortch shines, and I think the trade is fantastic. I don't think Desmond Ridder is great necessarily, but for someone who's like 24 years old and a backup quarterback, can't complain. He's better than Clayton Tune. Yeah, I'll tell you that much.
Backup quarterback for sure. And he's got a lot more experience than Clayton Tune definitely does. His numbers aren't flashy, splashy, but like if we're expecting Kyler Murray to stay healthy, fingers crossed, right, knock on wood, then obviously it's irrelevant. But he does have the experience in terms of starting a lot more games than a Clayton Tune has. So I think it's definitely a good trade as well in terms of what the Arizona Cardinals needed to do. And I think you're right. I think the phase of just short receivers, speedy, is just not a thing for the Cardinals right now. I think we're looking for big body wide receivers. And the reason why this guy made it is because he plays like a big body wide receiver. This guy plays like a dog. So I'm so glad he's finally getting opportunity, and we'll have to kind of wait and see how it goes. So something that you said, I kind of want to touch on here real quick. I agree with you. Maybe we should go wide receiver and double down in the draft as well. Even if we do get Marvin Harrison Jr. in the 4th overall spot, maybe the Cardinals can do a wide receiver in the 3rd round, or heck, maybe even the 4th round if somebody falls to the Cardinals. Is there a specific person or a wide receiver that you're eyeballing in the later part of the draft?
A lot of people are wanting Brendan Rice or Luke McCaffrey just because they're, father and brother play in the NFL.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people in this draft that I am high on, but I don't have any like favorites in particular.
Okay.
I'm not going to lie. Like, I feel like there's just so much talent, and like, it's so weird because like, I don't think we should double back in the 2nd. I don't think we should double back in maybe the 3rd. It's like, who do we think is going to be there in like the 4th round? Because I don't think we're going to rock with the receivers we have now. And if it's that big of a position of need and we double back, I'd be shocked because we still need edge, corner. And let's just say we land Marvin Harrison, just hypothetical. Like, that's just how it falls, and it's just perfect. And we get Marvin Harrison at 4. We got our wide receiver 1. Now we need an edge, like desperately, and a corner. So I don't know how we're going to double back, but I'm praying an edge falls into the back end of the 1st round. Praying someone like Chop Robinson. I don't think he's going to drop to 27, but man,
I just did a mock draft and I literally had to trade up to get a Chop Robinson. I had to trade up.
If I can get to like 19 or like 20 to trade up, I would do it.
You kind of have to.
We have a lot of positions, and if receiver is there, I wouldn't be mad with like almost anybody. Johnny Wilson's the one person I'm not high on that a lot of people are, just because he's 6'6".
Yeah,
nothing on his tape really gets me going.
It's kind of like Hakeem Butler.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Okay, so there's a name out here that probably nobody's talking about. I did end up getting word from somebody here that the Arizona Cardinals has spoken to a specific prospect out there. And this is not a guy that is not very high in anybody. So I don't think this is going to be a 3rd round type of guy, but maybe a late round guy that the Cardinals could potentially go after. And it is going to be Jacob Cowing. I don't really know too much about him, but he is a Arizona Wildcat. 5'11", 175 pounds, 90 receptions, 848 yards, 13 touchdowns in this last year. His birthplace is Maricopa, Arizona. So yeah, I know sometimes the Arizona Cardinals love to kind of get the hometown kids, but there was a source, I guess we'll keep it that way, that told me that per Jacob Cowing, the athlete, there is three there's three teams that are really, really high on him and show the most interest. And the Arizona Cardinals are one of those three teams.
Was he number 2?
I'm so sorry. One more time.
Was he number 2?
Yes, he's number 2. Yep. Jacob Cowing. Okay. So it's Cow and then ING. I never heard of him personally. I don't watch a lot of, U of A football, but they were a good team. I'm not going to lie. I feel like anything that comes out of that organization, especially basketball, is a very, very good team.
Oh, yeah.
Jacob Cowing is a name maybe for a later round pick if the Cardinals do decide to double down or triple down on a wide receiver, is a name to kind of look out for. Just FYI.
I actually do know him too. That's crazy because I remember he killed. I'm pretty sure he killed ASU, demolished them. I think he had almost I think it's 180 yards or something insane. Just torched him.
Yep. So I'm going to be doing a little bit more research on him myself. But per the intangible, it looks pretty good. I mean, granted, he's 5'11", he's not over 6 foot, but I mean, if you're looking for a guy that's going to give you production, this might be a guy that can come out here and give you that. So just kind of throwing that out there right now. Let's dive into another big move that was made, and then we're going to be diving into the new announcement by the Arizona Cardinals. How do you feel about Jonah Williams being the right tackle of the Arizona Cardinals?
Is it official that he's the right tackle?
Yep.
Ooh, Paris is moving over.
Yeah, per John Gambadoro, he came out and said it. And even if you look at the depth chart here on ESPN, it does put him as right tackle as well.
I mean, this is basically, if Paris starts struggling, I'm not going to be necessarily mad because it's technically his first year left tackle in the NFL. It's the hardest position to play on the offensive line. So that's more interesting to me than anything is Paris switching over. And you don't draft someone that high to put him at right tackle. That's just how it is. This move was bound to be made at some point. Big fan of the move, but there might be some struggles early on. I like Jonah Williams being our right tackle. I feel like that establishes it so nicely. People were complaining at first. It's DJ Humphries isn't going to play anyways, right? We needed to address it somewhere. And we got a quality starter. He's not going to be the best lineman on our team, and if he is, then shout out.
Right.
But we needed somebody. We can't just rock with what we got. Our offensive line is horrible.
Yeah.
We just got an established starter in the league, and I get it. The Bengals' offensive line is not great, but Jonah Williams is decent, and you can take him away. I mean, people said the same thing about Will Hernandez.
Yeah.
They said he was awful, and then he comes to Arizona, and he kind of revives his career a little bit. He's a bright spot now.
Yeah, 100%. You're right. You're right. That's true. I forgot that the Giants fans were talking all sorts of smack about. Yeah, I forgot about that. And then he did come in here and he struggled in the beginning, but I think he's kind of settled in pretty nicely, especially in that guard position that he was at. So yeah, definitely shout out to him. And we're kind of all hoping that we have a right tackle, or at least for the next 2 years. And that's pretty much what his contract is. But with what I'm worried about, it's still that left guard position. The center, I'm okay with sleeping at night with Holt there, but that left guard position is still kind of a little worrisome to me. Maybe John Gaines II, which was hurt last year in the draft that we ended up getting in the 4th round. Maybe he can come in here and slot in, or maybe the Cardinals can get somebody in the draft, or maybe they're not done in free agency. Let me ask you this. Do you think we're done in free agency?
I think so.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll dabble back in when it kind of everyone in the top end kind of decides where they want to go, and then we'll dabble back in when the market kind of dries up. But I think for now we're good. But I definitely agree the left guard needs to be addressed. Yeah. Interior line with the short quarterback has to be addressed. I mean, good offensive lines, we've seen it. Drew Brees was what, 5'11", 5'10"?
Yeah.
And he had Carl Nicks and I think it was Jari Evans, 2 Pro Bowl caliber guards. And he was able to step up in the pocket, one of the best pocket passers ever. Kyler Murray really hasn't had established guards.
Yeah.
Yeah, Justin Pugh is probably his best guard that he's played with. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's Justin Pugh.
You might be right.
And then Rodney Hudson for whatever. And he's not a guard. He's just an interior lineman.
Oh, Hudson.
And that was one of Kyler's best seasons.
Yeah.
It was when he had Rodney Hudson here. And center's probably the easiest position to play on the line. But we still need help at left guard and center, in my opinion. I like Froholt for now. But he's not the long-term answer.
100% agree.
So I feel like we need a left guard and a center. And if we can dabble in the draft, I'm all for it, but I think we definitely need to establish that because Kyler Murray can't sit here and just step up in the pocket with who is our left guard right now. I don't know.
Right now, Tristan Cologne.
How confident are we that he's going to be the answer? Now, granted, I don't know a lot about him, but how confident are we that he's going to come in here and solidify that left guard position?
I mean, not with extreme confidence, like not extreme confidence, but I mean, I think he's a placeholder right now. I know we had him last year, but like we really didn't see him too much until we start getting a lot of injuries. But I mean, I think that might be the guy right now, unless the Cardinals do decide to kind of shock everybody and go for a guard pretty early in the draft. We'll see though. I mean, you never know. Man, Monty can do some really, really crazy things. And I think this roster has drastically upgraded, not with superstars, but with people that need to be thrown in here. I saw somebody in the comments saying we were an XFL team. We're now at least an NFL team, at least. So
Right.
That's definitely a good thing here for the Cardinals. So, okay, so those are the moves that has happened that kind of come to my mind. We kind of touched on DJ Dallas as well. Is there anything else free agency recap that you want to talk about before we jump into the other topic, which is obviously the big announcement by the Arizona Cardinals?
No, I kind of want to dive into this announcement. I'm
Okay.
kind of feeling some kind of way.
Okay.
I'm feeling some kind of way.
All right. Let's go ahead and if you want to cue it up, let's go ahead and talk about the new announcement here. We ended up getting a tweet by the Arizona Cardinals about a new thing happening. Go ahead, Mythic, cue it up. All right. So video was posted here that it seems like that section here on the kind of one of the end caps here has been absolutely destroyed. Now, I've heard a lot of fans, a lot of season ticket holders were very, very upset. They even like DM'd me saying, oh, if you really want to make a difference, make a petition about, how people are upset about that being kind of gone. And it seems like this is the main reason why the Arizona Cardinals / Michael Bidwell decided to get away with that fan zone, which is, like you said, one of the most affordable spots for fans. How do you feel? I know you want to kind of talk in about this. How do you feel about, I guess, the Cardinals making this move?
Man, I hate it because those used to be like my favorite seats. Is that end cap right there? This is pure money grab. It's literally just a pure money grab, and it kind of just takes away the fan interactions and everything. That literally was the best part. Like, who's gonna go sit here and go watch the game on a TV and go sit here in this big luxury room? Like, I just think it's so stupid. It's just pure money grab. Like, they're moving the real fans even further from all the action just so people can come there and just basically not pay any attention. It's just a pure money grab, and Michael Bidwell knows what he's doing. It's just pure luxury.
Yeah.
What is that going to attract? It's going to attract celebrities, top people who are willing to spend money. How many people like the Cardinals like that? Like, how many celebrities are notable Cardinal fans? Like Blake Shelton?
Blake Shelton is the only thing I can think of.
Is he even a Cardinals fan at this point? He was a Steve Kine meat muncher.
Yeah, like, touche. I haven't heard him talk about the Cardinals since we drafted.
I mean, I'm pretty sure he's a Cardinals fan, which shout out Blake Shelton. But it seemed like it was more of a Steve Kine thing. So I don't know. Like, name another celebrity who's a Cardinals fan.
Nothing really comes to mind. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, honestly,
that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna look it up real quick because I don't know. Like, I can't even find any. Like, I don't even know. It's what I'm saying. Like, how many people are really gonna go buy these tickets? Because the end cap used to be filled, with fans, right? And that's where people would jump in the crowd and whatever, like dap up people, throw footballs, just do whatever. That was like, not like, I'm not gonna say our Lambeau Leap, but that's like kind of where everything happens, I don't like it.
Yeah,
I personally don't.
Yeah, you're looking at the video here. It definitely makes it seem like I get the idea and where they're trying to go, like the luxury of it all, but like with where the organization is right now, it's not like we're talking about we're a consistent organization that's gonna constantly bring in butts in seats. Like we're not like there's a big struggle right now with the Arizona Cardinals trying to get fans in seats, and maybe this might be why, right? Because they're trying to recoup some money for doing something like this. And in the end of the day, obviously, if you want to support the Arizona Cardinals and be by season, we're nobody's saying anything. Do what you want, it's your own money. But yeah, I mean, the average person probably won't be sitting in those.
Oh
Those seats.
no.
Yeah,
No.
yeah. Yeah. So I could see the frustration from Cardinal fans, especially the ones that were season ticket holders that love those spots or those seats that were there. I could definitely understand the frustrations that are coming from Cardinal fans. And I could see where people are coming in for like Michael Bidwell and saying, greed and money grab. Yeah, I mean, I can see it. I absolutely can. If you look at those screenshots, it almost kind of seems like a certain section, you can see the players either come in and come out and like, you see players kind of interactive and stuff like that, like kind of making things. It almost kind of feels like WWE, like where it's only kind of becoming like an entertainment, kind of thing where, we get it. Football is entertainment, but like at the end of the day, at least I hope it's a real sport. It's a sport that we want to make sure that we're building up the right way and continue to compete. So I can definitely see the other side of the coin, but as a business perspective, in terms of like you're an owner, I mean, right? I mean, I don't blame him at the end of the day because he is trying to make money. He absolutely is. Yeah, it's tough though. It's tough. I don't really have too much of an opinion on it. I know you're not really happy on it though.
Yeah, but how about instead of building this new area, why don't we just upgrade the stadium in general? Why don't we upgrade the locker rooms? Why don't we upgrade the things that you're getting shit on constantly for, Michael Bidwell? Why don't we upgrade the things that you're getting F's in the report card for?
Touche, yeah, touche.
Like, why don't we upgrade the big things instead of adding this big money luxury grab? Like, there's bigger things out there that have been complained about. We still have a high school football locker room for 20 years ago. It looks terrible. College teams who have way worse budgets than $1 billion owner,
yeah,
have better locker rooms than us. Like, if you go look at LSU, obviously one of the top programs in college football, look at their locker room and then compare it to ours. And you're just like, how is a college team all the way up here and we're just not even close?
True. Yeah, touche. Yeah, touche. Yeah, because I mean, the report card that came out, we were still pretty bad, right? Like they got improvement, but like it was not to the point where it was significantly better.
We're just not upgrading the weight room, the locker room, just nothing that matters.
Yeah, we got BB8 saying thank you. Why take away from us fans and actually care for your team? Yeah, I mean that's true. Yeah, I mean you're kind of selling on me. Honestly, I didn't think too much into it until the way that you're kind of describing and the passion that people are coming here from the chat. And it does make sense. It does. I mean, because there was a lot of people that loved that area. Affordable, man. Even if your team sucks, you can still go there for less than $100 and sit that close. That's pretty amazing. But to kind of do away with it and not have that available anymore is pretty unfortunate for sure.
And what sucks too is our stadium already gets invaded by other teams' fans. Like most of the time it packs out with other teams' fans. Like other teams travel really well. Cardinals fans are quick to get rid of tickets or not even buy them. So you go to games and it's like there's a bunch of 49ers fans, there's a bunch of Cowboys fans, there's a bunch of Green Bay fans, and it's just like it never feels like a home game. Now you kind of take out one of the most popular areas, especially for like season ticket holders as well. It's crazy. You removed the 2 end zone sections that were literally like the most affordable loved sections for money.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy.
That's tough. No, I
get it's a business, but yeah. I mean, Mr. Billionaire won't invest in the right things, and it's frustrating. It really is. Because like I get it, you want to make money at the end of the day, but like for example, obviously this is NFL we're talking about, but Steve Ballmer, I don't know if you saw the new thing with the Clippers arena, like he's doing so much to like integrate with like the fans. And if you like end up buying tickets or like sit in a certain area, like tickets become cheaper and all this, and he's doing everything to cater to the fans.
Right.
Michael Bidwell seems to do everything but that, and it just seems like the connection is getting further and further and further. And it's like, I get it's a business, but it's like, it just seems like he does not give 2 S's about anything but money.
Matt Ishbia, when he bought the the Phoenix Suns, he made a lot of changes.
Yeah, Matt Ishbia made the games free. Like you can literally watch it on whatever, channel 3.
True. on your local bunny ear antenna for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's made some big changes.
And
And
now
even the
viewership is
stadium.
through the roof, and people are tuning into Suns games like crazy.
Yeah. Even though they're pretty frustrating to watch right now, but
They definitely are. Definitely.
but even in the arena itself, I feel like they definitely added some sort of like a luxury side of it all. That I could definitely see. I mean, this is just not a good look for Michael Bidwell on top of where people already don't like him already. To me, I still don't like Michael Bidwell. It's what it is, but I can definitely see the frustration that's coming from Cardinals fans for sure.
It just pushes it even further.
Yeah. All right. If you guys do not know what we're talking about here, latest announcement by the Arizona Cardinals came out here in the Twitter/X. We're actually all across social platforms on Facebook, Instagram, all this different stuff. And they put a video out pertaining to the new area that they're bringing into State Farm Stadium. And let's watch the clip one more time, shall we?
I don't know. It just doesn't fit. Like, it just doesn't fit to me. Like, it just feels like our stadium's not outdated. But when was the last time we upgraded? And I'm pretty sure taxpayers were the reason the stadium got built. Like, I'm pretty sure
for sure.
Steve Ballmer, I'm pretty sure he invested a lot of his money
For sure.
into that. So I'm pretty sure this came from like taxpayers. And it's not even like, what are we doing? When was the last time I got upgraded?
Yeah, it seems like a lot of rich people that are just looking for a good time and don't care what the result of the game is. It
Just go for
exactly
a drink
what it
and
looks
just F off.
like. Yeah. Yeah, very unfortunate.
Not a fan.
All right. Well, Michael Bidwell, another L that you took on a Monday morning before the 2024 start of the season. But let's get some happy faces up again. We're going to be doing a mock draft, ladies and gentlemen. We got Mythic AZ. We're going to be dropping a mock draft post free agency frenzy. And like I said before, we could still very well might be in the market for upgrading our roster, but we're going to be worried about a mock draft right now from our very own Mythic. And let me go and bring up the simulator right now. And are you ready?
Yeah, let's get this thing going.
All right. What are your first initial thoughts right now? Just kind of overall, while I kind of get everything set up. Is your mind already focused on if Marvin Harrison Jr. falls, you get him? Or is everything on the table for you?
I think Marvin Harrison is ours. Like, I'm going forward with this thing like he is an Arizona Cardinal. Paris Johnson talked about it, said he kind of like manifested that Marvin Harrison will be a Cardinal. Every quarterback and every top 3 team that is picking literally traded away their quarterbacks. It seems like it's set in stone. If the Cardinals want Marvin Harrison, it seems like he is ours. Now, the mock draft simulators are really weird. I've seen Olu Fashanu go number 1. So...
Okay, well, you don't have to worry about it now. I just started it right before, and Marvin Harrison Jr. is there. But we do got some trade offers. So we are going to look at the trade offers here because we got Mythic Austin Fort here in the house, and he's going to try to see if we can rebuild this roster up. So let's look at what the Jets are willing to provide to the Cardinals and who else is next. So let's see. The Jets are willing to offer you the 10th overall, 72nd, 111th, the 2nd of next year, and the 3rd of next year for your 4th.
I say reject everything.
Okay.
And just take the man, Marvin Harrison Jr.,
Okay.
Make it official, lock it in. I feel like a lot of Cardinals fans, almost every Cardinals fan, should be happy with this pick.
Okay. Now, quick question for you before we get going. I'm going to pick Marvin Harrison Jr. for you. Do you have any thoughts of you're looking to trade up at all? Do I have to pause it? Do you want me to just go straight to number 27? What are your thoughts? Because I know sometimes
we'll see how it goes.
Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and draft Marvin Harrison Jr. You're an Arizona Cardinal, and I'm going to be hovering over this pause button.
Let's see.
All right. JJ goes to Michigan. Okay. Okay. All right, we had a first trade there.
All right. You can pause it.
Pause it. Okay, real quick, before you pick anything here, Mythic, and I apologize for interrupting you, let's just do a real quick recap just for the sake of the content. We have the first overall going over to Chicago. Caleb Williams, we all know that. Justin Fields ended up getting traded. Jaden Daniels, Drake May. Does this look good to you? in terms
The
of
top
1,
4
2, 3.
looks pretty accurate to me, and top
100%.
5 looks accurate to me.
Yep.
Maybe
Joel,
6, honestly.
yeah,
I think
Malik
top 6
Neighbors,
looks pretty good.
Fashanu,
Fashanu, I could see.
Terrion Arnold.
I could. Ooh,
I mean, the best, maybe the best cornerback in the draft. Maybe that they go after him.
I could see that.
Yeah,
They do
Roma
need
Dunze for a wide receiver. That makes sense. We do have a tackle to
I
the
think Brock
Jets.
Bowers would go there.
To the Jets.
To the Jets. I think
Okay.
Brock Bowers would go. JJ McCarthy, I could see that.
Yep. I feel like the Broncos would probably try to trade up in the real life, to be honest with you. Like they are going in
JJ
here
or somebody.
yeah,
Go with the quarterback.
Yep, or something. All right, so Quinion Mitchell, Brock Bowers, Dallas Turner, Johnny Newton, Marius Mims. Right, so now we got these. We got Brian Thomas. Okay, so right now you're at the 22nd overall spot. These are the people that are available. What are your thoughts and what is your mind process?
I say advance 1 pick to the Minnesota and then try trade up.
Okay. All right.
Okay. I would try to trade up.
Okay. So we're trading with Minnesota. So we're going to propose a trade with the Minnesota Vikings. Don't tell me who you're going for, but what are you looking to do? Obviously, you want to give up the 27th for the 23rd. Is that correct? All right. What else are you willing to give up? Let's
try 138 and just see if it goes through. I don't think it will, but it doesn't hurt. Okay. Nope. It's going to take a little more to move up 4 spots.
Let's go back. Minnesota, confirm. All right, 23rd, 27. You want to throw that 138 still?
Do you think 104 would get it done?
You might need more. And I'm talking about maybe 3 picks. I've seen some of these mock draft simulators that like sometimes won't even like sniff if you don't give them 3, especially like even like in a real life that might get it done. But for some reason, these mock draft simulators won't. It's up to you though.
We could throw a Philly 5th.
Okay.
2025.
All right, let's go back here. Philly 5th.
And if this doesn't go through, I'd be kind of shocked.
No, tell me. Some of these.
Isn't that a 3rd round? Dang, that's crazy.
It's up to you. Either you keep it going. You want to go to Jacksonville. What are your thoughts?
I would go to Jacksonville.
Okay, so let's resume. Pause it. All right, Kool-Aid went.
I would go 1 more.
All right.
They got Josh Allen. Yeah.
Nate Wiggins went.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it's getting tricky.
I would try trading up with Green Bay.
With Green Bay? Okay. So you still got Chop, Cooper DeJean, Byron Murphy. So let's try it here. Propose a trade with Green Bay Packers. All right. We're going to obviously do the 25th for the 27th. What are you
doing? I would literally throw 138. And then if it doesn't go through, then I would just let it ride out. There's 2 people I see right here that I like.
I don't get it either.
There's 2 people I see. So I would just let it go.
Okay. Guyton, Chop.
Oh.
Yep. Okay.
I'm taking Byron Murphy.
Byron Murphy? You don't want to look at the trade offers?
No.
Okay. So reject.
I mean, it's tough because Cooper DeJean is here too. I like Cooper DeJean a lot, and not a lot of people link him to us. We do need nose. And I know we signed 2 of them, which could make the pick not make sense necessarily, which is why I really wanted Chop Robinson. Freaking Detroit. Hate you. But Byron Murphy.
Okay, Byron Murphy it is. All right, let's go ahead and lock him up. And I agree with you. Actually, I do like this pick. I'm not going to lie. So, all right, let's go ahead and go with Byron Murphy the 2nd. All right.
I was really considering Cooper DeJean.
Yeah. All right, we're going to the 2nd round, and we are up. So we have Denver trying to give us a boatload of picks, 72nd, 121st, 147 for our 35th. I mean, a couple others for, and then we have Cleveland.
Nah.
Okay, so reject Cleveland.
That is a decent haul, but nah.
No? Okay.
I would reject them.
All right. What are your thoughts?
All right. Ooh.
I can keep.
There's so much talent in this draft that I really like. I don't know if you feel the same way, but there's so many people in this.
There absolutely is. I'm actually surprised that Keon Coleman ended up falling this far down. So that's
I am too.
I'm not saying double down, but that's
that is weird to see him fall. Ooh, Xavier Worthy going 34 is kind of crazy too. Who would you take here? Can we see the edges?
Yeah, we could.
I think everything would be a reach at this point.
We could definitely filter it
because I know the top 3 went.
Defense and let's go edge. So these are like the top edges that are available.
Braswell, Trice. Do you want to go to corners?
Yep.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Dang, this is tough. What about guards?
Guards. It's a guard. I know you talk about this guy a lot.
Yeah, Cooper Beebe. I like Cooper Beebe. Man, this is tough. Who would you take right here? I have 3 people, but I feel like they're all really reaches.
Honestly, to be honest, I like the offensive tackles that we have here. Either Jordan Morgan. I feel like Jordan Morgan, because he can play guard as well, would be beneficial. I do like but I mean, there's no point in getting Sweat when you just got Byron.
That's what I'm
personally.
saying. I eyeballed it, and it just seems like such a reach.
Yeah, I mean, there's also Zach Frazier, which might be a reach in terms of right here, but it really kind of just depends on where you want to go.
My 3 that I was looking at was, I think Keon Coleman being here is interesting.
Yeah, it's very.
I don't know if I would dabble in this high. I was also looking at Jordan Morgan from Arizona.
Yep.
I think that just for position versatility would be great. And then, man, I think Jordan Morgan is probably the pick.
Okay.
Not the biggest fan of how this fell, but
yeah. Okay.
Jordan Morgan's still a great football player.
All right, so we're good with it.
Positions. Yeah, lock Jordan Morgan in.
All right, lock it in. Okay. So we do have another pick in the 66, so we got a long way to go. You are cool with writing it out, I'm assuming?
Yeah, I'll keep my eye out.
Okay. All right, I'll be hovering over the pause button.
Man, there's so much talent. And I keep saying it, but the Cardinals have a chance to just deck out the roster.
Yeah, I agree. That Sweat is falling.
I know.
And he fell.
The fact that Sweat is here is crazy.
Wild. All right. We got one trade offer from the Broncos. For some reason, they really want to deal with us in this draft. What are your thoughts?
Nah, I would reject it.
Okay, reject it. All right, here we are now.
Cedric Gray.
Oh, there's that Rome. Oh, you say it was Johnny Wilson. You're not really high on, right?
Yeah, Johnny Wilson.
I'm not trying to sway you, but a lot of people love this guy right here.
Is that the rat god?
And to double down on a wide receiver, especially if we don't do anything in these next few days, if the Cardinals don't trade for anybody or we don't get anybody, our wide receiving core is really, really not.
What's his name? Is it Xavier Leggett?
Yeah. Yep.
His nickname's the Rat God, right?
I believe it's him. I'm not mistaken. Definitely chat. Let us know here below. So there's him, or there's also Cedric.
I was going to go Cedric Van Pran. That was my pick. And then if Leggett is there, I would double back at 71.
Well, check this out. Exactly. I was going to say you have 66 and 71. So what do you want to go first?
Who's projected higher?
I believe Cedric.
I would take Cedric here.
But literally 72 to 73. It's not like a big difference.
Yeah, I would get Cedric.
Cedric? Okay. All right.
And then Xavier Leggett would definitely be the next pick.
All
definitely
right.
have to monitor it, though. Just with these top teams, but I would go Cedric here.
Okay. Would you like me to pause it?
Pause it real quick.
Okay, so you have New York, which probably might be in the market for but there's a lot of people in front of them. What are your thoughts?
I would let it ride out.
Okay, let it ride out.
Him, so be it.
Here we go.
Yeah, I would take him. I would lock it in. Xavier Leggett.
Okay, let's reject. Yeah, man, this is coming out to be pretty darn good. I'm not gonna lie to you, Mythic. You're Mythic Austin Ford over here.
You gotta go crazy. It's tough with the players in this draft.
Why is Sweat falling that far? That's crazy.
I would pause it. I was gonna trade up for him.
Who?
I don't care. I would dabble in with 2 defensive tackles and just develop them.
Oh, I'm so sorry. So you were gonna go with Sweat?
Yeah.
My bad.
Actually, drop. It's fine though. We'll find talent.
Okay. Keep writing it out.
Yeah. The only tough part is corner is not addressed, but a lot of positions have been.
Yup.
Do you want to go to linebacker real quick before we resume this?
Absolutely. There's a lot of people very high on Jeremiah Trotter, but it's up to you.
Do you want to go to edge?
Edge.
And then corner, if you will.
And then corner.
Okay. I like Kalen King.
Okay.
But it's kind of a reach.
This is a 3-round mock draft. Just everybody, just FYI. Maybe we can dabble into a 7 next time, but we have so many picks, it's crazy.
Right. Yeah, you could write it out.
Write it out. All right. Let me go ahead and just get out of this filter just to kind of make sure everybody's good. All right, good stuff. All right, write it out.
And now we just pray that one of these guys falls.
Here we go. We're up.
Okay. Me
Buffalo.
personally, big fan of Blake Corum.
Me too. Me too. Okay.
And he's kind of Michigan's offense last year.
Am I rejecting these offers?
95th for a future 4th. No, I'd reject that.
Okay, reject it. All right. Buffalo wants to give you a 3rd next year. And then
Nah.
a 128th. Reject.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So this is who we have on the board.
This is tough. There's 2 names I like, Jeremiah Trotter and Blake Corum. I like Blake Corum a lot.
Is that what you want to go?
Ah,
It's tough, man. You know.
you got to go to corner one more time.
100%. I got you. So defense.
Because I think this is our last pick.
Yeah, it is.
Kalen King, I like a lot. I think I would rock. Ideal world. I think I would take Trotter. Yeah. And then I would probably dabble back in with Kalen King later on.
Because we do have another pick, I think just outside the top 100. Obviously, because this is a 3 round, you might still be able to land a running back if you want. So if you said Jeremiah Trotter is what you're looking for?
Yeah, I'd take Trotter.
Okay.
Right here.
Right.
And then I would just pray Kalen King or Blake Corum fall in the 4th.
All right, cool beans. Let's go ahead and lock it in. Jeremiah Trotter, you're an Arizona Cardinal. I'm not gonna lie, Mythic. This is a good mock draft. Chat, let me know here in the chat below, how did Mythic Awesome 4 end up doing on that? We're gonna be recapping it right now. Let's take a look. All right, so the 4th overall, Marvin Harrison Jr., no brainer. Byron Murphy, and then we got Jordan Morgan, Cedric Van Prin, Xavier Legette, and then Jeremiah Trotter Jr.
I like it.
What are your thoughts? You like it?
I'm a big fan. There's not any pick on this that I'm looking at and I don't like.
I agree. This is nice. Dude. This is nice.
There's not a single person that I don't like on this mock draft.
All right. We got my guy here, Spartan, saying solid draft so far. Morgan is solid. Trotter is a future Mike. There we go. And he's talking Mike linebackers. What are you talking about? All right, cool. I think it's a really good mock draft, if I might say so myself. Great job there, Mythic.
And the only I see Kenny saying offensive heavy. I went offensive heavy because we went defensive heavy in free agency.
Yep. Facts.
So
yeah.
I definitely had to address a ton of positions. And with Rondale Moore gone, we need a little help at receiver. And I love Xavier Legette coming out from, I believe it's South Carolina.
Yeah, let me see. What was his actually?
I think he had 7 touchdowns and like 1,200 yards. I looked at his stats like very recently.
Yeah, 1,200 yards, 7 touchdowns, averages about 17.7 yards a catch, 6'3", 227 pounds. That's a thick guy.
It looks like DK Metcalf.
Yeah. Huh. That name's been floating around in a lot of my mock drafts. A lot of people kind of keep telling me, to potentially go. And I believe I did that on my last mock draft post post free agency frenzy. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong though. All right, cool. Great mock draft. What are your thoughts here, real quick? I think we doubled down on wide receivers in this draft. Do you think the Cardinals will do something in free agency? You kind of mentioned the fact before in terms of the Arizona Cardinals can potentially trade for somebody. T. Higgins, Justin Jefferson. What are your thoughts on anything like that? Or you think we're just going to write it out and see what happens?
Apparently we're linked to T. Higgins.
Yeah.
I
heard that too.
I don't know how I'm feeling about it. I don't hate it necessarily. He is established. I'd rather get rookies though. Let me look up T. Higgins' age real quick.
He's pretty young, I feel like.
He's only 25.
Yeah, he's young.
I don't know. It's tough because it just depends what it would take to get him.
That's the tough part.
Relatively durable. Oh man,
Do you
man,
feel
has been
like
an
if
1,000 receiver almost.
Do you feel like if the Arizona Cardinals did that, right? And we're speaking hypothetics, right? And I did make a video about it probably about it was sometime last week. I completely forgot when I dropped it. But do you feel like the Arizona Cardinals will still get Marvin Harrison Jr. if we did that? Because somebody commented saying that we won't get Marvin if we did that. I don't necessarily think
I
that's true.
disagree.
Yeah, I agree with that. Okay.
I don't think people realize like how bad we need receiver help.
Yeah.
One person's not going to fix his room.
Yeah. Even Marvin Harrison Jr. as a rookie, like I would love to get somebody in here with experience. I like Michael Wilson. Don't get me wrong. I really do like Michael Wilson. It's just we don't know health wise if he can stay healthy.
We don't know where the ceiling is either.
True.
Like where he caps out at. Like T. Higgins, we know where he stands. We know where he stands. Looking at his stats right here, 908 yards his rookie year, 1,091, 1,029, and then only played 12 games last year, which he finished with 656, 5 touchdowns, 24 touchdowns so far in his career in 4 seasons.
And that was a quarterback carousel too.
Man. I don't know. I guess it just depends because you have to pay him too. That's the only thing that kind of turns me off from T. Higgins. And then Justin Jefferson, it's just you're gonna have to trade so much and pay him. Like it'd be nice if Justin Jefferson just magically lands on our team, right? And we don't have to give up assets, but we're probably gonna have to fork over a first, and then you're gonna have to pay him $30 million a year. And then you're like, okay, cool. Now we're kind of just pushing ourselves further back because we're rebuilding. You know what I mean? I feel like at that point we're just buying. But I can't see us buying. I don't see us being in the market for someone like that. Like we weren't in the market for Christian Wilkins. I don't know if we'd be in the market for like a Justin Jefferson if he became available. Maybe that's just Monty's way of pushing the rebuild and getting that established player. I wouldn't be mad at it, but I can't see it. Because T. Higgins isn't a wide receiver one.
I agree.
Just like this says.
Yeah, T. Higgins is a number 2 wide receiver, not a number 1. I still do think he would be better than Hollywood, to be honest. And I'm not trying to bag on Hollywood. It's just I don't think it fit, man. It's so weird because the connection between Kyler Murray and him, like we were kind of promised, like this is gonna be the next best thing. It's just never solid. Like none of them could stay healthy in a stretch enough to see it. So like that's a very unfortunate part.
I hate how we never got to see D-Hop, Hollywood, and Kyler on the field together.
And
more than like 2 games.
Yeah, it's rough.
D-Hop got suspended. Hollywood Brown got hurt. Kyler got hurt. And it's just like,
yeah.
Oh my gosh. Like that's like the biggest what if. Because then you have a big body 6'1" receiver on the outside with Hollywood Brown finally playing wide receiver 2. Like that is like the idea right there. Is why you make that trade in the first place.
Facts. Yeah.
And DeAndre Hopkins is no longer here. It elevates Hollywood Brown into a position where he's not supposed to be, in my opinion. In Kansas City, I think it'll work just because Travis Kelce anchors a lot of the attention. And with Hollywood there, it's going to open up so much. Like we don't have a Travis Kelce, right? Like we have Trey McBride, but it's not like people are IDing Trey McBride last year. Like, oh, this is the focal point. Like maybe next year they'll be like, okay, this guy can do damage. But they weren't looking at Trey McBride like Travis Kelce, where it just anchors all the attention, where you're having everyone come down and basically surrounding this man, making sure he doesn't catch the football.
Right.
Now Hollywood Brown's going to a situation which is better for him. So
100%.
I'm not mad at it. Go chase a ring. Go chase a better contract after this year and try to go prove yourself.
Yeah, it's a 1-year deal with the best quarterback in the NFL. You're going to put up, if you can stay healthy, you can put up some massive numbers. And at the end of the day, he's looking for a contract. So
yeah, and if he does good, he gets paid. So
all right,
I respect it.
Yeah, let's talk about this last thing here real quick. A look around the NFC West. As you can tell, free agency frenzy was not obviously just for the Arizona Cardinals, it's for everybody in the entirety of the NFL. What are your thoughts here on the 49ers, the Rams, and the Seahawks? Who got better? Who got worse? Who is going to suck? Who's going to be the fourth? What are just overall thoughts on just the NFC West and the state of where we're at?
Thank God Aaron Donald retired.
Oh, seriously,
man. I think that can't be understated anymore. So glad he's gone. One of the best defensive players ever. And as much as it sounds like I'm crapping on him, I mean, that is the probably second best defensive player that I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Maybe top 3. I don't know. I think I have Aaron Donald top 5. I don't know where you have him.
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure. Oh, definitely. And the guy that was always wreaking havoc on the Cardinals, man. It's just,
Man.
He was a deadly weapon / beast that, like, I'm so glad he is now no longer on the Rams anymore,
Oh
for
yeah,
sure.
now they're Aaron Donald merchants anymore. So it's very interesting to see how that defense shapes out when you lose someone like that. I still think they're going to be solid. They also signed Jimmy Garoppolo. Really weird.
That is
Really
weird, yeah.
weird. But I mean, they tend to do good with backup quarterbacks like that, just in case Matthew Stafford goes down. Baker Mayfield kind of revived himself. Jimmy Garoppolo's kind of on the back end. Very interesting move. I think the Rams will be solid. Not great. Tre'Davious White has a meeting lined up with them. Seattle, I don't know what they're doing. They're making a lot of moves where it seems like they're trending towards a rebuild, like letting Bobby Wagner go, for
Yeah.
example, letting all these guys go. Then they retain someone like Geno Smith, and it's like, okay, are they trying to be competitive? I
Right.
don't know. And it's like they're stuck in this like happy, like medium balance where it's like they're retaining some of their vets, but then they have a rookie head coach and like all this stuff, and they're trying to get younger, and their defense is getting younger. And I don't know. Seattle seems very interesting. I think they're the worst team in the NFC West, personally.
Seattle.
Seattle. And then 49ers, obviously. I don't think they're done with moves necessarily. I'm curious to see what happens with Brandon Ayuk and if he ends up on the roster. Debo Samuel seems like he's still going to be on the roster. They have one of the highest salary caps in the NFL. A lot of restructures, cuts. Arik Armstead is gone. He signed in Jacksonville.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very curious to see how that team shapes out going forward because it seems like they have a couple more seasons until they can just restructure. Like, how long can you restructure contracts so it catches up with you? They got a lot of money, man. A lot of money on the books, and I think the Cardinals are in a really great position. Maybe not this year, but in like 1 or 2 seasons. Like, this is like our division to like run with. I really believe that. Sean McVay, I don't think is coaching that much longer.
Oh, really? Okay.
I don't think so. I mean, the retirement rumors were stirring with him and Aaron Donald for how long?
True.
Like 2 seasons now, 3 seasons.
Yeah.
And then Sean McVay won the Super Bowl, and it was like, oh, well, keep your eye out. He's like, no, I'm coming back.
Yeah.
And now here we go. I think Matthew Stafford, when he calls it, it's over for Sean McVay.
Yeah, that would be a pretty rough rebuild for sure.
He doesn't.
So do you still think 49ers off the top?
Yeah, I got 49ers, either Rams or Cardinals, and then Seattle.
At the bottom. Yeah, I'll be damned, man. I'll be damned if Mike McDonald comes out here and does really good things. I expect him to take a step back and kind of rebuild. Bringing in Geno Smith really doesn't do anything, I guess, for them. Sam Howell is interesting. They ended up trading for Sam Howell. That's an interesting move to me.
I like Sam Howell.
Yeah, I don't mind him at all. I think he's definitely a good placeholder. I was talking to a few Seahawks people that cover the Seahawks, and a lot of them are thinking quarterback this draft. Maybe not the first round, but in the second round, they're probably maybe looking over for like a Michael Penix or something like that because he's from Washington, and it's a somebody within their state would be somebody they could look their way. But I think they might be in the market for a quarterback, even if they just traded for Howell.
That'd be interesting because the Browns are just going and sending everybody. They got, I believe, Jameis, Tyler Huntley. They have Deshaun Watson. Like, they have 3 quality quarterbacks. So it's like really weird. Like, apparently you just can't have enough. Yeah. So Seattle dabbles in. I wouldn't necessarily be surprised at this point. They definitely need somebody. I like Sam Howell. I think he has high upside, but Geno Smith just isn't the answer. So long term, I think it'd be the Sam Howell and whoever else.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is Geno's last year in Seattle.
I agree. And kudos to him. I mean, he got one last contract and what he's been playing for. I mean, kudos to him. But at the end of the day, I think it's done for. I agree with your assessment in terms of 49ers up there. But if they lose Brandon Ayuk, I'm just so curious because there's 49ers fans and people who cover him feel like Ayuk is the best wide receiver they have. And they're like, oh yeah, they're saying that like overall best wide receiver. Like
for sure. Yeah. Debo Samuel is not a pure receiver.
Yeah. So that's going to be interesting. And is Brock Purdy going to be able to continue to elevate, right? Or people are going to get film on him and he's going to take a regression, right? So there's just a lot of things that are happening with the whole behind the scenes with the 49ers that like on paper, they still got a lot of their weapons, but like they're aging each year that goes by. They don't get that Super Bowl ring. It's just they keep getting older, and we'll see exactly what happens from there. So we'll see. I could only hope that the Arizona Cardinals can at least finish second. That would be amazing. I'm tired of being at the bottom. I truly am.
Right. You can only backload contracts for so long and restructure for so long until people get frustrated. Then you can't pay people, and then people are going to split up, and then you're going to age, and things are going to happen. I mean, they have a lot of players on that team who are pushing 30 plus. Some like Trent Williams, how many years has he got left?
Yeah,
That's a staple point of their line. Their line is not good.
that's true. Good, yeah, good
Trent
call.
Williams is the bolster to everything that goes on in that offensive line. And Christian McCaffrey, running backs typically slow down after a certain point. When will Christian McCaffrey finally take a slump after literally being the focal point of the offense? Dre Greenlaw tore his ACL or Achilles. He tore his Achilles in the Super Bowl. Is he going to come back and be the same player? I don't know. And then Arik Armstead no longer there. So it's like the team is shaken out. But I still have 49ers on top. It might not be as dominant as this season, but I got 49ers on top.
49ers on top. Okay, one last thing here real quick. I just saw a report here on the X/Twitter world from Aaron Wilson saying that there's another Jonah Williams out there. Not our offensive lineman, but there's another guy, but he's just a defensive lineman. It's saying that Jonah Williams scheduled to visit with the Cardinals on Tuesday per league sources. So we might be doubling down on Jonah Williams, offensive lineman, and then maybe a defensive lineman. But I think right now he's visiting with the Vikings today. So
that's funny.
Yeah.
We'd have a defensive and an offensive lineman, Jonah Williams. That's going to be so confusing.
Yeah, that would be mad confusing. All right, cool. Not a big name, not a huge name, but obviously something to talk about, and let's see what happens from there. So any last thoughts before we let everybody go here, Mythic, before we close up shop?
Man, I think that's it. I'm excited for this next season. I say it all the time. It's just as soon as we keep inching closer and closer, and I feel like once the draft is over, I'm going to be just so ready for the season to start.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Well, let's go ahead and close up shop here, everybody. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Big shout out here to King, J-Rock, Christoph, K1, Cards, Got a Curse. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Cards fan, Kenny, John Paul. Thank you so very much for tuning in. As always, have a great rest of your day. And as always, go Cards.